The shock of that actually killed him.
Honey, your relationship's run its course. You rushed into it. You shouldn't have done. It's been 2 years. Get the fuck out.
Do you ever sometimes put a little cheeky finger up your bumhole just to make sure it's extra clean?
No, I don't ever do that.
They get something special.
Be warned, it's LuAnna, and this podcast contains honest, upfront opinions, rants, bants, and general explicit content. But you know you love it. I've just noticed, Imo, that it's the 26th of June. Is it your birthday?
Yay! Happy birthday to you.
Squash, tomatoes, and stew. You lick lots of Fanny.
And we wish
you look like one too.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, beautiful. We love you. How old are you today?
I'm
31.
32.
Well done, Louisa. 32 today.
I remember when it was your 30th like it was last year.
Happy birthday, our beautiful. Are you having a lovely day planned?
I think so. We're going out for dinner tonight.
Nice.
Going to the theatre at
All
the
you can
weekend.
eat buffet.
Oh, what are you seeing? Anything good?
We're going to see Witness for the Prosecution.
Oh, it's brilliant. That.
Oh, Imo, we were meant to see that together. Remember? We talked about this years ago.
Oh, wow.
That's my brother's show, by the way. That's one of his main shows.
Guys, hello. We've talked about this
Have we?
before on the pod. I've really wanted to see it for a long time. I want to be part of the jury. Are you being part of the jury?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not part of the jury.
And Imo's been to that before, no?
No.
I've been to it.
We've talked about going to this show. I swear to God. Maybe I've imagined it and thought I should go to it with Imo, though, is what I'm now starting to think.
I don't
because I
think
thought
we have.
Imo would be a good person to go to it with because she likes shit like this. Like I like shit like this. I feel like...
And the irony being,
I
I'm
feel
the
like
only one
I'm-
that's actually been.
Yeah, I feel like I've had the discussion with Imo about going to this show, but have we not had that?
I don't remember that.
Maybe it was a dream.
Brilliant. The inner workings of this man.
Yeah, because I've wanted to go and see this show and I, for some reason, thought I was going to go with Imo.
Oh.
How bizarre.
I went to go and watch it and there was a little
Sorry about
mouse
that,
under
then.
my chair.
Really? That just added to the atmosphere.
Good, actually. It was really good. Brilliant.
Really? My mum's been to see it.
Amazing.
Oh,
My brother would be delighted we've just been promoting his show on this, actually, by the way.
there you go. Go
see it.
It's really good because it's interactive. So you can buy tickets and then you can buy either a ticket to just watch it or a ticket to be part of the play.
Can you?
Yes. What tickets did you get?
I've no idea. Naomi booked it.
I bet she booked the expensive one. She's not tight.
She's not type.
And she knows that you love that shit. So you'd probably want to get involved because, what do you call it? When you want to be a star of the show.
Yeah.
I'm a bit wired
Should we get
because
into
I've had
Totally
a
Extra?
pre-workout.
Yeah, let's get to Totally
and a
Extra.
coffee. So let's just carry
let's
on.
just do that.
Welcome. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's totally extra, LuAnna style. Let's muff hunt in first with a message from Donna. She says, I don't know if this is the
Donna
place to share
kebab.
this.
Sorry.
Don't know if this is the place to share this, but here goes, babes. You can share anything you want here. So I was working in a shelter for homeless young adults. Wow, that is a very worthy
good,
job.
yeah.
I was on the morning shift, which meant I needed to get into work and attend a handover meeting with several other staff. Unfortunately, I had a really bad case of thrush that had kind of started up overnight. It's awful, that. I think I'm a bit thrushy today, actually. So the thought of sitting still in that meeting with a sore and itchy Fanny was not thrilling me, to say the least. I decided to call into Tesco en route and pick up a tube of Caniston cream, which I'd used many times before.
Good old Caniston.
You can't beat it, Lou, can you? And I usually found it very soothing. I ran into Tesco, running a little bit late with about 5 minutes to spare, went straight to the pharmacy department, up and down the shelves looking for a tube of Caniston cream. It's quite distinctive, red and white cardboard packaging, but I couldn't find it. I was looking and looking, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so late. Eventually, I managed to see the familiar packet, red and white, grabbed that, felt a little bit bigger than normal, but I really didn't care at this point. I raced off to the checkout, paid for it and drove off to work. When I got to work, I made a mad dash for the toilet, hoping I'd have time to put the Caniston cream on before the handover meeting. I ran into the public loos, which are shared by staff and residents at the centre. I went into the cubicle, opened the cardboard container with the Caniston in it. Upon opening it, I realised that rather than it being a tube of cream, it was a spray.
Never heard of Caniston spray.
No. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. I mean, it
Actually
is. You don't have to touch yourself, do you? Especially if you're hot and itchy.
Exactly.
it saves me getting my fingers sticky and covered in cream. And it means it's surely more
Yeah.
hygienic. I mean, this is a great idea. Less bacterial transfer, and it probably covers a wider area. Thought, great idea. This must be new. So I put one leg up on the toilet and I held the fanny flaps apart and I sprayed the spray into my very sore and itchy vag. I expected it to feel cooler, soothe, as it normally does with Caniston cream. It felt wet and cold. And then it started to tingle. And then it started to burn. I grabbed the box, staring at it, and it's there in black and white. Caniston treatment for athlete's foot.
Oh my
I've
God.
done this with Alex's the
Stop.
cream version, and I accidentally put the cream version on me nun.
No.
My vag by now was on fire. I raced out of the toilet cubicle, tucked my skirt up under my chin to hold it up. I plunked my legs either side of the sink, splashing my burning fanny
public
with
toilet.
cold water to try and wash off the athlete's foot treatment, just praying that no one would walk in on me. Although at that point, I didn't give a shit. I was lucky, although I did have to spend the rest of the day with a sore, itchy and burning fanny. Needless to say, always read your labels, girls, before you put anything on your vag. All the best, Donna.
Literally Donna with the kebab.
Donna kebabbed it.
She kebabbed
Bad.
it.
I did that once. Alex's Caniston athlete's
Really?
footprint. They must do that labelling better, actually. Note to Caniston,
Yeah.
I've done this with the cream.
Oh, it's making my fanny
yeah, and then I had
itch.
to get the old flannels back out and give it a right old go.
Any excuse to get a fanny flannel you use. I mean, what are you going to do in your new bathroom with the Renault?
the flannels are coming.
Have you got a bath and a shower in there now?
Yeah, we're going to have the whole works now.
How
Lou.
many bathrooms are you going to have now?
2. But
Nice.
I do need the flannels. Have to look, Lou. I have to stay true to myself. The flannels are
They're
coming with
rank.
me
It's
everywhere.
another disgusting thing you do.
You bought
as well
them
as
for
the
me.
dressing gown. Those fanny flannels. Vile.
This is why you love me.
I do love
Why
you.
I keep it real.
And so sorry, are you still using the fanny flannels
No,
that
had
I
to-
bought you
I
about
had to
6
throw
years
those
ago?
ones out. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm on the new section now with
Good
flannels.
girl.
Actually, I'm three flannel rounds in. Actually,
Do you use muslin flannels? Have you seen those?
yeah, I use a variety of flannels.
Oh.
Actually, if I'm honest
And
with
what do you find
I have a whole
better?
stack of flannel
Do
situation.
you find towel flannels better, muslin flannels, linen flannels?
It's a great question, Lou. I find actually the OG toweling flannels are the best for
Really?
the nun and the
Not
body.
too like
Just, you know,
harsh.
there's enough water, warm water you can get. There's nothing better than a nice, warm, fresh flannel. It smells all, you know, fresh from the washing machine.
Yeah,
A
good,
nice
at least
wa-
you're washing them
Oh,
properly.
yeah, only one go in a wash. That's why I have such a big stack.
'Cause
Although
you do a lot of washing.
I do. But I do like a muzzy on my face. Muslin
So
flannel
you
on
don't
my
use
face.
the same for the fanny and the
Oh,
face?
no, there's
I
fanny
would.
flannels
I'd
and
go
then-
face, pits,
No.
fanny.
Oh, no, Lou, you can't do that.
Just work your way down.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
You do that. No, I have a
Ims?
specific fanny flannel.
Well, I
What would you
don't do
do?
it with the flannel. I just do it with my hands. But I do, yeah. I work
I
it
do.
down.
I don't use the flannel either. I use my hands.
For what?
Everything. I don't use even a loofah.
Do you have a flannel on your nun? You should. Yeah, but what if
No,
you...
but I shower. But I put the shower gel in my hands. I lather it up, and
Yeah.
then this is what I do: lather it up, cross over, pits,
Yeah, that's what I do in
go
the shower.
down,
Yeah.
boobs, down, vag,
Yeah. Bumhole.
Oh.
Bumhole.
Then I work it down.
Do you ever
feet.
sometimes put a little cheeky finger up your
No, I
bumhole just to
don't.
make sure it's
No,
extra
I don't
clean?
ever do that.
Oh, I do that.
Hello, this is Claire from Maidstone in Kent. I have a rant. I am just like really randomly playing chess with my partner, and I do not agree with any of the freaking rules. He is trying to teach me how to play this game, and who said that
Love that.
pawns cannot take out other pawns straight? Why does it have to be diagonal? It's just an absolute bullshit rule. I don't like it. I'm not going to win. And I don't think it's fair. That is my rant. Okay, love you, bye.
Thank you, darling.
I think I've been playing chess wrong.
Have you? Why, do you knock out pawns?
Wow, I thought pawn could take a pawn straight.
No.
Pew.
Don't know. Don't know how to play chess. I'd like to learn how to play chess.
I could teach you, but I would clearly be teaching you wrong. Maybe I'll
So
teach
maybe
you on
not.
the yacht.
Maybe, I mean...
Can we play Monopoly Deal though?
Yeah, of course we can. Yeah, I'd love to play... Not chess.
Not chess.
Let's do
Do you know how
Monopoly
to
Deal.
play Monopoly Deal? It's okay, I'll teach you. Lucy knows how to play.
Fine, we'll do Monopoly Deal.
Right.
Right.
Got a message from Megan. She says, for the awkward things said at awkward times
Oh,
feature,
yes.
dark humour incoming.
Let's do it.
When I was about 10 weeks pregnant with our second child, we'd had a bit of a scare and I was called into my doctor for a scan. My husband waited in the car park with our 2-year-old as we were on the way to visit family, and I just stopped at the hospital on the way. After the awful wait, the doctor delivered the words no pregnant woman wants to hear, there's no heartbeat. I was obviously broken and was asked to return early next week for surgery.
That's
I
awful.
got back in the car and we made the grim journey up to Yorkshire. The reason for our trip was to scatter my father-in-law's ashes. So it was one of the shittiest days of my life. The icing on the cake, as we're driving up the M1, all that she wants is another baby comes blaring through the radio. My husband started laughing. I started laughing. My father-in-law had a wicked sense of humour and I couldn't help but think it was his way of sending us support. Love, Megan from Surrey.
Oh, bless you.
Well, look, you can.
Dark
you know
humour.
what? When you can laugh in a terrible
Yeah.
situation, you know you're with the right person. As
Totally
well.
agree. Totally
All
agree.
that she wants is another baby.
I mean, you either laugh or cry in those situations,
Yeah.
don't you?
You got to laugh.
Oh, bless your heart. Thanks for sharing. Voice note from Rebecca next.
It's Rebecca from Cardiff. I was just listening to your episode where you were talking about every single person has a traumatic hamster story, and I just wanted to share the one about my mum. So my mum was in university, and my dad bought her a hamster. Don't ask me why. And the hamster went missing, and my mum was absolutely devastated, to the point where my dad actually created a little ladder in the floorboards because they thought he'd got under it so he could come back. Anyway, weeks went by. Suddenly, hamster has appeared. Oh my gosh, how amazing. But sadly, within a few days, they thought he had died. He was like frozen. He was kind of stuck in a movement position. So they were like, oh my God, he's dead. So my dad put him in a box of like hay and cotton wool and stuff just to kind of, you know, make his transition to the afterlife more comfortable. I don't know. Anyway, my mum goes into the room to say her final goodbyes. I don't know why, it was like a funeral. And she saw that the hamster was moving, and they realised he'd just gone into hibernation and all the cotton wool and hay and stuff had brought him back to life. So she ran into the room where my dad was, screaming, oh my God, he's alive, we're so happy. The shock of that actually killed him. So yeah, everyone does have a traumatic hamster story.
She was so excited he was alive. She scared him to death with her screaming. Yes, there is so many traumatic hamster stories. Why is that? Why does everybody have if you've got a traumatic hamster story, please share it with us.
Sorry, we just totally glazed over the fact that she just killed her hamster
By screaming. Because she's out of happiness that it was alive.
You just don't get. Do you know, this has absolutely
don't get a
solidified
hamster.
my children never having a hamster.
No, don't get
they're never having
hamsters.
one. Petty Polly, yes, I love a bit for Petty Polls, one of my favourites from Megan. Hi ladies, here's my Petty Polly, and listen, I know it's childish, but it's also deeply satisfying. I'm a flight attendant, which sounds glamorous, but really it's me in heels, trapped in a flying tin can with 200 people who all lose all sense of decency the moment we hit 10,000 feet. Now, most passengers are lovely, truly, but the rude ones, the finger snappers, the eye rollers, the ones who act like I've personally ruined their lives running out of Diet Coke, oh, they get something special. As I walk past them, we so would do this. As I walk past them, I release a silent but deadly fart, a high altitude whisper of revenge.
A whisper of revenge.
Silent but spiritually aggressive. We all know what altitude farts are like, right? The kind that lingers, like their bad attitude.
Oh, this is too good.
And then I glide away like nothing happened, smiling sweetly while they sit there marinating in their own bad attitude and a mysterious shift in cabin air quality. Because if you're going to treat the cabin crew like crap, don't be surprised when the atmosphere follows suit. Now, fair warning, sometimes innocent bystanders get caught in the crossfire of my airborne justice. They've done nothing wrong. They've just sat in the wrong seat at the wrong time. And yeah, I do feel a little bit bad. But hey, sometimes life's a bitch. And occasionally, so am I. And while I've got your attention, please give a big warm shout out to Gillian, who's the reason I even found your podcast. She's been raving about you two for ages and now I'm fully hooked. Thank you, Gillian.
Well done, Gillian. Share the love with your friends.
And the farts. You don't need to keep me anon. I'm Megan from Portugal, a proud distributor of airborne petty justice. Love the pod, you sexy bitches.
Oh, well, Megan, you're a girl after my own heart.
Petty Polly,
I
can get on
love
board
that.
with.
Right, Gabby, what are you ranting about?
Hi, LuAnna. I'm Gabby. I'm from Hertfordshire and I'm coming at you with a semi-live rant because I've been in the car and I'm listening back to old episodes going back for the last year because I was on maternity leave. I normally listen in my car and then I didn't get a chance. I'm all the way up to December 24 right now.
Right.
And can I just say, I really miss having you say muff dive in and not muff hunt.
Oh, muff
Because
dive.
muff hunt makes no bloody sense.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to muff dive?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we
Muff
can.
hunt. I heard the joke back when it came out and I appreciate that it was a funny thing, but muff hunt makes no sense.
No, we're going to go muff dive
Thank
again.
you. Love the pod and all that jazz.
Okay, we'll start muff diving again,
Thank you.
babes.
Thank you for the feedback. We will take it on board.
And we will change our ways.
Let's muff hunt into a message
No,
from...
muff diving.
Let's muff dive. See there. Message from Anonymous. So Valerie, Lou.
Oh my
Let's
God.
muff dive.
Hi, LuAnna. Absolutely love the pod. I've been listening for about 8 months now, and I don't know how I ever got through working from home every day without it. Please keep me know and use my granny's name, Valerie. So I'm looking for some advice for something I've really been struggling with. I've been with my boyfriend for 2.5 years now. We met on a dating app and moved in together pretty quick. I was 22 and he was 23 at the time. And I'd just come out of a 6-year relationship.
Wow.
So my current boyfriend was the only other person I dated. Things were great and still are. We've since bought a house together and have a dog who's our baby. The reason I need help is I've started to get a weird feeling sometimes where I retreat and I don't even want him to touch me at all. I sort of don't actually like him sometimes, which is awful to say because he's an amazing person. The issue for me is he isn't very affectionate or outgoing like me, and I can sometimes feel a bit bored and like we're a 60-year-old married couple with nothing to talk about. He's fun when we're with friends and everybody thinks he's just the sweetest boyfriend to me, but I can't help feeling there's something really missing in the relationship that I need. I've tried to spice things up by suggesting different dates we can do, talking to him about it and making an effort to be fun and chatty. He can't seem to see a problem and thinks everything's fine. The issue is for me, I just don't feel loved. And I just don't feel love, I guess. And that's now made me change my feelings towards him. Things like not really complimenting me, being interested in things I talk about. He isn't able to hold a conversation to the same depth as me, as he gets bored easily. So I find myself unfulfilled. I've had thoughts about breaking up and then I'll change my mind and think, what am I doing? I'm just overthinking things. It has crossed my mind that if we didn't have the dog and the house, I would probably have walked away a while ago. But I'm trying to see if he'll change and make more effort. I think I know deep down that people don't change and I shouldn't force him to anyway. What do I do in this situation? Am I not in love anymore? Or is this just a normal phase of any relationship? Honey, your relationship's run its course. You rushed into it. You shouldn't have done. It's been 2 years. Get the fuck out.
Well, I was going to say there's no emotional intimacy in this relationship. And
Just
when
fuck it
there's
off. They're like 25. Come on.
Yeah,
You're going to meet someone else.
but if she wants to understand why, there's no emotional intimacy in this relationship and you're not on the same level pegging. You've just said, and this is the thing, people often talk about in dating relationships, and to Lou's point, you're 2 years in, lust and all of that desire typically wears off after 12 months, between 6 and 12 months, typically the honeymoon phase goes. And that is why the reason behind that as well is desire starts to segue into actually having feelings. And then those two things struggle to coexist at the same time. Basically, you're now seeing the real people. And that's what happens when we start to get past that 12-month stage. And quite honestly, he doesn't have the emotional depth that clearly you do. You can instigate more conversation and do some more work around. He can learn it, around couples' values. There are definitely things he can do. But essentially, mate, you've got the ick because when there's no emotional intimacy, that plays into physical intimacy and it turns off like a tap. Work on the emotional intimacy if you want to and it can improve, or you decide that perhaps this isn't the person for you.
Yeah, I'd sack it off. You're so young. You've got your whole life to meet someone that actually intellectually the whole conversation thing would put me right off.
Yeah, it's important. It's really important.
Right. I've never told anyone this, but so I need to confess. I'm a keen singer. Some would say, hola. But I truly believe I can hold a note.
Okay.
Oh, she's like,
Oh, she is.
Anywho,
Keep it even, girl.
One time, I went into a bit of a dive of a pub. It was karaoke. Well, it wasn't, but I told the DJ that I'd made the judges' houses on X Factor.
That's kind of stuff I
and went
say.
to Simon's house and he agreed to let me sing. All the while making the announcement that I had been on X Factor. Of course, the pub reached for their phones, including the manager of the pub, who then proceeded to post my rendition of Adele, Someone Like You, on their Facebook page.
You know what, girl? Good for you and your self-belief.
Yes.
Fake it till you
I
make
like
it.
that.
Love that self-belief.
Well done.
Love it. Second one. Hello, ladies. Yes, I'm 100% late to the party. I'm on catch-up and loving it. Listen, thank you for catching up and hello to all of our new listeners. It makes me feel tons better. I'm not the only one that makes an utter mess of my life, lols. I've got a story to share, but I need to be anonymous. I can't stand the shame. So, I've been in a relationship for 10 years plus with nothing less than a cockwomble.
Ugh.
Once this ended, my life was a bit of a skydive gone wrong.
God.
I ended up becoming overly friendly with a man hundreds of miles away from me. It was just an over-the-phone thing as we were too far away from each other for day-to-day life. And being a bit vulnerable and, well, let's face it, way out of the world of dating and romance, I'm usually an old-fashioned girly and have never really slept about or had that vibe. So hoe phase was in full swing and ended up getting a bit too invested in this guy. We may have crossed the paths at a horse show, and I just had to
Roll
see
in the hay.
what was on offer in real life. So when I say the camera angle makes all the difference, it's a fact. I was a bit disappointed, and my previous feelings of excitement of this guy were fading fast. I was that ashamed that I had lowered myself to do the dirty in the back of a horse box that I did to anyone. So fast forward a bit, things were still going on, but it was cooling off and I was losing interest. I'd be getting the confidence boost I'd needed, and that was that. Me and my best girl were on our way to the butcher.
Why is that funny? Why is that funny that they were going to the butcher's? Because it made both of us laugh.
Meat, sausage, this is where our brains go, Lou. On the way to the butcher's in the car.
But why would you go? It's like me saying to you, do you fancy going to the butcher?
Let's go to the butcher's. It's just such an everyday brilliance, that's why. In the car, and my phone was in the holder above the radio in my car. He was FaceTiming me, so I answer, and to my fucking horror, had his dick in his hand, wanking in his car. My friend had seen the lot, including his face. Once he realised we were laughing to the point I nearly crashed the car, she turned to look at me and was horrified to come out with, I know his wife. I've never been so mortified in my life. I did not know he had a wife. How the F did she know his wife? She then showed me this man's whole life on Facebook, which I didn't have. They lived at the other end of the country. So how the F did she know his wife or who they were? It turns out the world of equestrians is a very small one.
Very small.
Lou, you'd probably know him. Safe to say, that was my last encounter with Mr. Dick in my hand. And I learned a valuable lesson of downloading Facebook and doing my research. Stay real, ladies. You make my day. Love an equestrian hoe life.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Like, the thing is, it's a very small world.
Very small world.
In general. It's 6 degrees of separation. I always find it's about 2 degrees of separation.
Oh, I think same in telly. That's why they always say never shit on people on the way up because you need them on the way down. It's a very small world, people.
Well, on that note, that is it for this week's LuAnna, Totally Extra. Remember, we will be back with your usual dose of LuAnna on Monday. So we'll see you then. You can send all your guff into us. Our email is luanna@everythingluanna.com. And our phone number is 07745 266 947.
There she is. That's our WhatsApp number.
Fucking doodoo-pee.
So send us in a voice note. And also, guys, if you haven't followed us yet, we would love you to. Just click on the top right where it says follow. And you can also check us out on YouTube as well. Have a fabulous weekend. See you Monday.
Bye for now.
You've been watching LuAnna the podcast.
What do they need to do, Anna?
Make sure you subscribe.
Boom.